Okay, so as promised, this is chapter 10.6, which is your second to last chapter in all of Go Math. Isn't that crazy?
Second to last lesson.
Sorry, second to last lesson. That's right, Liam. And today we are going to talk about using what we know about customary and metric units to solve problems. Okay? And today your learning goal is to solve problems by making a table. Okay. First, let's talk about the problem of the day. It says a dairy cow drank 36 gallons of water in a day. Okay, in 24 hours, he drank 36 gallons of water. At this rate, how many quarts of water did the cow drink in 1 hour? Of course, step number 1 asks us, what is this question asking, Rashika?
It's asking how many quarts of water did the cow drink in 1 hour.
Yeah, I want to figure out how many quarts of water did the cow drink in 1 hour. Number 2 asks us to find the important information. Jason, what important information do we need to solve the problem? Okay, any other important information that Jason missed? We need to find our answer in quarts. Okay, it's really important to figure out what unit we want to answer our question in. Shreya, let us know how you solved the problem.
Okay, so I know that 1 day is 24 hours.
Okay.
And in 1 day he drank 36 hours.
36
gallons.
Okay.
And we want to find how many quarts he drank in 1 hour.
Yeah.
So first I did 36 divided by 24.
Okay, why did you do 36 divided by 24?
Because altogether he drank 36 gallons, and they're 24 hours in 1 day.
Okay, so then when you did 36 divided by 24, what did you
I
get?
got 1 and 12 over 24, but 12 over 24 can be simplified to 1/2.
Okay, 1.5. What's the units that we're using right now?
1.5 gallons.
Okay, go ahead. Hold on 1 second.
That's 1.5 gallons
1.5 gallons per what?
per hour.
Okay.
But if you see they want it in quarts,
Mm-hmm.
so I know that 1 gallon has 4 quarts.
Right, because Mr. Gallenman has 4 limbs, right? Yes.
So the whole number part of the fraction of the mixed number is 1.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 4 quarts.
Okay.
1 times 4 is 4. And then there's also 1/2 gallon, and 1/2 gallon is 2 quarts.
Okay.
So I did 4 plus 2,
Mm-hmm.
and I got 6 quarts. So every hour he drinks 6 quarts of water.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, did anyone solve it a different way? Karan.
I solved it so I knew that 1 gallon had 4 quarts.
Okay.
So I did 36, since he drank 36 gallons, I did 36 times 4, which is 144.
Okay.
And then, 144 quarts. And then I divided 144 quarts by 24 hours, because in 1 day, he drinks 1 gallon.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I got 6 as my answer.
So you did 144 divided by 24 equals 6 quarts? Good. And I love how both Karan and Shreya kept labeling their answers throughout their work, or kept labeling their units throughout their work, because it really helped keep it clear what you were talking about, hours or quarts or days or gallons. Okay, excellent. Today's problem says Aaron is making fruit punch for a family reunion. He needs to make 120 cups of punch. Okay? If he wants to store the fruit punch in gallon containers, how many gallon containers will Aaron need? Okay, so the first thing we need to figure out is what the question is asking. What is the question asking? Go ahead and write it down, right? Number 1, and then write what the question's asking. Yeah, so the question's asking us to figure out, with all these cups of juice, how many gallon containers is Aaron going to need in order to store all this juice? Okay. Of course, we have to figure out what the important information is asking. What is the important information asking? Colin? Or sorry, what important information do we need to solve the problem?
He needs 120 cups of punch.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to store the fruit punch in
Yeah, excellent. So we're trying to figure out, basically, what's another way to ask this question? Arushi?
How many gallon containers are needed?
Yeah, how many gallons are there in 120 cups? That's another way to ask the question, okay? So if you look back at our learning goal, today our goal is to be able to solve problems by making a table, okay? So we're going to be making a table, putting this information into a table and looking for a pattern to help us solve this problem, okay? First, let's take a look at this conversion table. This shows you that in 1 gallon, there's 1 gallon. But in 1 gallon, there's 4 quarts. In 1 gallon, there's 8 pints. And then in 1 gallon, there are 16 cups. Okay, so it helps you remember how many cups and gallons there are in each, how they're related. It works the other way too. For example, if I have 1 gallon, that's the same as 1 gallon. But if I have 1 gallon, and if I have 1 quart, that's 1/4 of a gallon. Does that make sense? If I have 1 pint, that's 1/8 of a gallon. And if I have 1 cup, that's 1/16 of a gallon. So you have this conversion table here as a resource to help you, okay? But what I want you to do is I want you to set up a table in your notebook that looks like this. Okay, you're going to be relating cups and gallons. So you're making it's like a 2-row chart. At the top, I want you to put cups. At the bottom, I want you to write gallons. If I have 1 cup, how many gallons is that? If I have 1 cup and I pour it into a gallon container, how much of that gallon container would I have filled? Harshita? 1/16, right? If I put in 2 cups, how much of that gallon container would I have filled? Adriana?
2/16.
2/16, or otherwise known as 1/8. Okay? And so you're filling out your chart. Now if I put 3 cups into my gallon container, how much of that gallon container would I have filled up? Karan? 3/16, otherwise known as 3/16, exactly. Okay? What if I put 4 cups of juice into the gallon container? How much of that gallon container would I have filled up? Soham? 1/4, otherwise known as 4/16, exactly. Okay, see how we're filling in these units. Now, have we filled in more than 3 terms? What does that mean? We can look for a pattern, yeah. So take a look at your cups and look at how they relate to the gallons. And see if you can find a pattern to go from cups to gallons. Just put it on the ground. What rule do you notice between the cups and the gallons? Marcus? How can I go from any cups number to find the gallons number? How are they related? What do I need to do? Yeah, so we can see that the rule to move from cups to gallons is to multiply by 1/16. Okay? So given that, if I have 120 cups, how many gallon containers would I need? Go ahead and fill in that blank in your table. Okay, so if I follow this pattern and I multiply 120 times 1/16, what do I get? Let's multiply the numerators first. What's 120 times 1? Okay. And what is 16 times 1? Okay, is this fraction in simplest form? No. So how can we find out how to put that into simplest form? Claire? Yeah. So how many 16ths do I have in 120? 16ths. 7. Okay, 7 wholes. And do I have any fractions left over? So how many gallon containers will Aaron need in order to contain all of his 120 cups of fruit punch? Daniel? 7.5 containers. So really, how many containers would he need? 8, exactly. But the exact amount is 7.5, and that's the correct answer. Okay?